Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, Foster Lee. Hey, were you or someone you know looking to start into the Turo game? Have you already started into the Turo game? And you need a little bit of understanding of the ways to maximize your return on the Turo game? Well, you're in the right place. You made today the day. What I'm going to be doing is teaching you guys the ins and outs of the ways that I've used Turo to make a whole lot of easy passive income, and doing it the right way, right? Anybody can hop in Turo, anybody can download the app, but not everybody does it the right way. Stick with me. When you're done with this course, I promise you, you're gonna have the best Turo game out there. Hold on, here we go. Okay, first things first, we're getting started with Turo, all right? You wanna make sure your car is 12 years old or newer. Okay, that's first foremost. You want to also make sure that it has less than 100,000 miles on there. Okay, because sometimes Turo won't allow your car to get on certain models of cars to get on there if they're older than if they have more than 100,000 miles. Okay. Secondly, all right, you want to make sure that you don't have any recalls on that vehicle. Okay, make sure you don't have any recalls. Make sure the car is in decent condition. You don't want to have a lot of rust. You don't want to have a lot of like dents and dings and cracked windshields. Turo doesn't want you to have parts falling off. No safety concerns, all right? First and foremost, you want to check all of the tires. And the next video, I'll give you guys some ideas of how I ensured that the tires had enough air in them and had enough tread on them as well. So another thing you want to do when you're getting started is make sure you go and do some product research in the area in which you plan on Turoing on, and looking up the car that you plan on touring, like try to find that car on Turo and see what the prices are going for on that. Make sure you have insurance on that car. If you're going to have a bunch of cars on there, corporate insurance is the best way to go, with at least $1 million in coverage, so that you don't find yourself in any problems legally if the car ever came into an accident. Now, if you're going to be just getting started, Turo has insurance that they'll have for you, so we'll talk about that in the video to come. Also, you want to make sure that you're going to not have to need that car, or that you're not going to be using that car on a daily basis. I know you can block out dates in order to say you only want to do Turo on the weekend. You can block out dates and such, but this is just getting started, making sure your car is up to standard. All right, now we're going to move on and talk about, once you have your car on Turo, what to do next. Yo, welcome back. Hey, okay, now you got your car on Turo, right? You've already did the due diligence of making sure the car was good. You got the approval through Turo to put it on. You make sure it didn't have any recalls, or you took care of the recalls that it has. Now you get to the welcome screen of what kind of details do you put in your car, right? There's going to be things that Turo is going to ask you about. It's going to be saying, all right, the welcome letter per se, or pretty much what do you want this car to like, what do you want? Describe your car, right? Describe your vehicle. Now, what I do is I make sure I write out a real lengthy description of my car, the attributes of my cars, you know, how much I love my cars, how great the car has been to me. Just kind of like sell it, like make it like a commercial. You don't want to have a short description in there, because Turo, unlike rental car agencies, is going to be a personable experience, right? Most people rent Turo cars so that they can have the local experience of wherever city or state they're visiting to borrow or rent those cars. Okay, now in your description, you want to be extremely detailed, and you want to be extremely forthcoming on your car, any quirks and anything like that. Now, next they're going to ask you about, they're going to say, what do you like, customer, the person that's renting your car. So they're going to say customer instructions or renter instructions. All right, in this part, you want to make sure that you're extremely detailed about the do's and don'ts of your cars, where you don't want the cars to go, where they're not allowed to go, what they should do, where they should go. You know, customer instructions, instruct them to details on the particulars of your car. All right, like where the seat warmers are, if they got cup warmers, or if they got things about the car that, you know, like a dealer would tell you when you first bought the car. And if you're really profoundly detailing those instructions, people are going to pick your car over others because they're going to be comfortable knowing that everything that your car entails is going to be what they want and what they need for their trip. Okay, don't hold out on the details, and don't be afraid to be lengthy in your details. Go all out, go hard on it. You know what I mean? The more the better when it comes to Turo and the descriptions. All right, now we get to pricing, right? Let's talk about pricing. They want you to, usually Turo gives you a suggested price for your cars. Now on this part, you got to be real careful with how you price your car, because in a sense of where you decide to put your Turo at, every place is different. Even in the state of Hawaii, where I live, okay, where we are, the market is completely different on each island. All right, I remember I rented a Turo on Maui. It was a really nice Toyota 4Runner, like the same year we were in, and we got it for a really good deal. I think it was around $100 a day, okay? But on the island of Kauai, where I live, the Turo rates are going to be extremely different. It's a lot smaller island. It's a lot higher demand and a lot smaller supply. Okay, so that same 4Runner would have went about $350 a day. So you got to be careful when it comes to pricing, and that's why you got to do your product research before you decide to put the pricing on your cars. All right, every place is different. Make sure you're competing effectively. You're not underbidding your car, and you're not overpricing your car, because we want as many bookings as we can. All right. So another thing that you're going to want to put up on there is a bunch of detailed pictures. Okay. I suggest, if you have a little extra money, getting a professional to take a bunch of the pictures of your car. I would say at least 15 inside and out of your car. But that's up to you. iPhones are great to take pictures. But make sure you get make sure the car's clean, make sure the backdrop is nice, make sure you got something, you know, that's looking like real nice in the background when you're doing this Turo pictures, because a lot of people choose their cars from the pictures and also from the ratings and reviews. So now that you got your car up there, you got it priced, now let's talk about what comes next. I'll be right back. All right, you got the pricing set up, you got the location, everything good. Now what you got to figure out for yourself, because everyone is different, how much time do you have, right? And that's going to determine if you're going to charge, how much you're going to charge for a cleaning fee, and then also how much you're going to charge, or if you're going to decide to charge for a delivery service fee. Now, when getting started, I would suggest that you waive the cleaning fee up first, but for those who, it depends on where you're at, right? If you're charging a bunch of money and you're in a saturated market, in an unsaturated market where the demand is high and the supply is low, then you could charge a high ticket price for your car. Then I wouldn't suggest you charge so much for a cleaning fee right off the bat, right? Because you want to build up that rapport, you want to build up that, you want to build up those reviews, you want to build up those ratings, so that then your car, you become an all-star host and your car gets to the top of the list. All right. Now, same thing with deciding if you want to do a drop-off fee or a charge for dropping the car off. If you have a lot of time on your hands, you don't have a job that's requiring you to be there all the time, then you can literally have the free drop-off charge for the car, and then you'll be able to get a lot more bookings than those who are charging for people to drop it off. And then once you get to the point of a lot of reviews, a lot of ratings stacking up, and you're at the top of the search list, then you can start, charging for drop-off fees. If if it's getting to the point where you're booking out constantly and it's getting kind of logistically insane, having to drive these cars far distances to drop them off. All right. But yeah, so now you got the cleaning fee set up, and you also can do some type of incentives what we do with a lot of our rentals is we give out things that they can purchase, like coolers, surfboards, bodyboards, umbrellas, beach chairs, snorkel gear, all the things that you would need in a vacation rental type of environment like we have here in Hawaii. So in the beginning, if you're just getting started, you don't have a bunch of reviews, I would say put a bunch of those options in your rental for free to separate you from your competition. Yeah, so now you're ready to get the Turo on the road. Now let's talk about how to protect you and your Turo and your future investment. All right, now this is some of the ways that you can get some creative financing for those multiple cars if you want to look to put more than just your personal car on Turo in order to make some extra cash, some passive money. Okay, so there's one of three ways that I'm gonna show you. The first way is gonna be you go and get approved for an auto loan, right? You got to have decent credit to do this, or you can use your business and use business credit to get it. But you go and get approved for an auto loan, and you go to your bank and you ask your bank for a check for the auto loan, instead of necessarily going to the dealership to have them run your credit all around the place. All right. Now, hopefully you got relationships with multiple different banks so that you can then go the next day and do the same thing with another bank, get another car loan and go get a car with a check from the bank. Now, before you guys go and do this, make sure, like I said before, that you're able to afford to pay for these car loans, just in case, you know, Turo doesn't play out in whatever city you live in. Every city is different. Where I live, it's really Turo. You can get a lot more for your cars on Turo here than in most places. All right, so make sure you be able to afford those cars. Don't go and get, like, you know, Benzes and all types of like brand new cars if you can't afford them. All right, now you could probably do this about 3 times or however many times you can afford the car note, and then you'll be able to get, before the 30 days is up, you'll be able to get multiple cars before it hits your actual credit report. All right, now another way you can go and do this is you can go and get a secured loan from the bank. If you already have the funds in your bank account to purchase a vehicle, you can go and get a secured loan of the amount that's in your bank account from the bank, and then you take that secure loan and they'll give you a check, or they'll just put it in your account. You can go and purchase a car cash and then pay back that secure loan that you took out. All right. The third way that you can do this is if you have already established your business and you've been showing cash flow, you've been paying your taxes, and you can go walk into walk into certain car dealerships, and you can utilize your business credit. Sometimes you might have to have a personal guarantor. That's like you as a PG going in and verifying that you vouch for your business, and or if your business is around 2 years or something like that, a little bit. I think there's ways around that, okay? But you can go and not have to necessarily have the personal guarantor. Now, the third way to do it is using a business credit card, or the fourth way is using a business credit card and just swiping and paying cash for that car. This way I don't suggest, because a lot of these business cards come with a high APR rate on them. So you don't want to necessarily have to swipe and buy the car unless this is your only option you have, and hopefully that car is going to bring you more in return than you're spending in interest. But yeah, those are ways to get some Turo cars, and different ways to get some Turo cars. Some of my Turo tips that I leave and I give people. Hopefully your Turo experience is dope. Make sure you're rating the people and you're giving them good reviews, and you're asking for good reviews as well, because Turo really emphasizes that type of structure on trying to make sure that the customer service is good. So you want to keep your customer service up. If you follow these tips, you should be fine. Keep your cars clean. Make sure you're getting the oil changes, and make sure you're keeping up with the maintenance on them. And yeah, if there's anything that I missed, I might have to do a part 2, but hopefully I touched every aspect of of how to operate in Turo. So if this is your first time hopping on Turo, hopefully this course helped you out.
I'll be dropping another one on different types of Turo cars in different cities. All right, appreciate y'all. Boss Lee, over and out. All right. Now we're in the part of the course where we get creative with how we can get multiple cars on Turo. Okay, like how can we capitalize on getting multiple vehicles on Turo? It's one of those things where what you have to do is get creative with your financing. Okay, like getting creative with your financing is important, because most traditional ways of buying cars, people are stuck with having to pretty much get one car, drive that car for your personal use and things of that nature, right? Now, in this scenario, you don't necessarily have to purchase the car just on your personal, for your personal self only. You literally can use this method I'm about to teach you to find a way to get multiple cars within a few days. Okay, now I only suggest this if you're going to be able to pay for these cars regardless or not if the car is being rented out. I wouldn't suggest any of you guys going and do this method that I'm about to teach you unless you can afford to pay for all three, like say 3 cars in less than 30 days. Okay, I can show you how to do that, but you got to make sure you're able to afford that if all of a sudden something happens and, you know, Turo app goes down for maintenance forever or something, you know, the code breaks. Now you get stuck with these cars. Okay, you got to be able to afford these cars before I can show you this method. I'm gonna show you this method coming up. Hey, we back. All right, a couple more other ways you can protect yourself in the Turo game, right, is to make sure that you give your clients specific details what the do's and the don'ts of your cars. Okay, make sure that before you give somebody the location of where your car is that's going to be renting it, you tell them specifically where they cannot go. So like for where I'm at, if there's a beach that has sand that people like to drive on with their cars and they have the potential to get stuck, you tell the people there's no off-roading in my car. Make sure you're only on paved roads, and then you'll be able to protect yourself from your car getting stuck on anywhere and having to incur some damages. Certain things like telling people no smoking in the cars, you know, telling people no more than the allotted seats for your car. So you got 5 seats, you don't want 6 people in your car. You can write that in your details. You have to be specific with the customers, because if you're not, then you're going to run the risk of running into some problems with your vehicles. Okay, so that's just one of the other ways to protect yourselves. All right, now the next thing I'm going to tell you about is how you can get creative with financing so that you can get some cars on your Turo so you can start making some profit. Be right back. Okay, another thing that I utilize on Turo to protect myself from potential problems that might arise and things of that nature is I make sure I put GPS on all my cars. Okay, having GPS on your cars allows you to be protected if you were worried about, you know, anybody having any thefts or anything going on, anybody that's going to like if you have your car is parked and you're leaving the keys in it and you don't have if you don't have a like key lock system for your cars, having GPS on it is one of those things that will literally protect you from having to worry about where the car is. If the people don't bring it back in time, you'll have the protection needed. All right. The GPS system can be found on Amazon. You also can find them on like different types of websites. All you do is Google it, and they have like subscription fees where you pay like $10 to $20 a month to keep them activated. But yeah, it's just one of those ways to help you protect your vehicle so you don't have to worry about where it's at. All right, we got some more tips coming. Stay tuned. Yo, we back. Hey, okay, now Turo rates on a bunch of different rates you as a host a bunch of different ways. Okay, they're going to rate you for performance, pretty much how many 5-star ratings you're getting. They're going to rate you based on how many trips you pretty much honor, like how many trips do you honor. They're going to rate you on also response time. So this is where the communication comes in. All right, being able to be accessible at all times puts you in a good standing with Turo and also with the potential renters. They're going to look at your profile and they're going to see, if they see on your profile that your average response rate is in minutes, right? They're going to be more inclined to go with you because they know they're going to get a quick response. Now, if you go on Turo and you have a response time of say 5-6 hours, now people are going to look at you and not necessarily want to rent from you, knowing that it's going to take a while to find out if the car is available or find out any particulars that's pertaining to the car. All right, so make sure that your communication is expedient, it's immediate, and it's right on time. Okay, it goes a long way. And also, Turo is going to rate you for how many trips that you've done. So when people see you and they see your car and it's available as you being the host, now they're going to rate you, or they're going to basically choose you over your competition, depending on how many trips you have for your car, also how many 5-star ratings you have for that car. And the more 5-star ratings you have and the more trips you have, you're going to be higher on the list of the listings. You're going to rate higher on the listings. So communication is key. I'll get back to you guys right away with the next Turo tip coming up.